What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we have got games 21 to 29, no game 30 here today. I took a battering in game 30, but we've got a lot to talk about with some of the games and some of the comments. Now before we get into the comment section guys, if you could drop a thumbs up on the video, that'd be much appreciated. Let's try and smash 3,000 likes for today's episode, and we are going to talk about a few things. One of the things is going to be Dani Alves flashback, and another one of the things, as per the title of the video, is going to be the absolute horrific state of the market right now, and what I'm worried about in future of the market. So first things first, Dani Alves SBC. It looks good. It does look good. What I would say for the card is it's very, very well rounded. However, as well rounded as it is, if we were to take Dani Alves, he would be the third incredible right back that we have. And I don't necessarily think that's worth it, especially given his SBC is coming in at about 250k before packs. So yeah, I don't think it's necessarily worth it, but I want to take your guys' opinion on it. You know, I have second informed Lala, I have obviously Juanfran SBC, but I can link Dani Alves to Mbappe, I can link Dani Alves to Pato, I can link Dani Alves to Makalele and to Rio Ferdinand. So there's options to link him in. It's just whether or not we can actually make use of him. You know, we could start a 4-3-3, put Makalele right centre mid, Mbappe right wing, Dani Alves right back, and then all three of those guys will get full chem no matter what team we play him in. And then obviously we could put Rio Ferdinand right centre back and go from there. Or even Varane right centre back, links to Makalele, Ferdinand and Courtois. Everyone's on full chem again. But do I want to invest $250,000 coins for this Dani Alves card? The reason why I would say no, as I said, is because we already have two very, very good right backs, top end meta right backs. So we don't necessarily need him. The reason why I would say yes is because the whole purpose of the first owner road to glory is to just build as, you know, get the first owner players. And this is a first owner road to glory. It's not like I could just go and buy a team of the year right back when it comes out. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyway, in terms of the market, one thing from Quick Stop Hicks, he says, totally agree about SBC chemistry. Obviously talking about that from the last video. After all, you're already paying way over the odds for an untradeable to tradable equivalent, so there should be an extra benefit. But not only that, I was talking today on Twitter a little bit about how I'm just concerned at the state of the market right now. The reason that, like, baby icons are just through the roof. Even on PlayStation, they're almost up at 800,000 coins for the cheapest icon. And the reason why they're so expensive is there's very limited meta players this year. Last year, I think there were more meta players. This year, I think there's less meta players. In any typical weekend league, every team you come up against will contain 3 or more, minimum 3 or more, of the typical meta players. We'll take a look at some of the teams we come up against here. But the reason why we come up against these is because they're the only ones that really work. And that's kind of EA's fault for making the game the way it is, to the point where you can only use a certain amount of players. But what that does is that causes people, doesn't matter if you're pro, top 100, elite, gold, silver, can't even qualify, Division 4, Division 5, Division 6, doesn't matter. All you're doing is saving your rewards week on week and gearing towards improving your squad for these specific meta players. And so what that means is when an SBC like Kevin Prince Boateng comes along, a lot of people are going to turn away from that, because Kevin Prince Boateng is only useful if you have icons already, in which case he's probably not useful because you have better players than him, or if you have a Serie A squad, in which case it's then debatable whether he's usable. Yes, it's a good card, but he obviously has got only soft links to basically everyone. He's not at a great club and he's not from a great nation in terms of linking in Ultimate Team. And he is a good card, but for the amount of coins you have to pay for him, there are other also very good cards. And because of the likes of Milinkovic-Savic SBC and things like this, a lot of people have already got equivalent or better midfielders, or have already got a team to the point where spending 150 to 160,000 coins on him is not worth it. And so that's why I say that having icon links on SBC cards would be great, because then it doesn't matter what league or what nation they're in. You can just use them in any team, any time. And I think that has massive positive effects. But the reason why it has such a negative effect with the market right now is because it is ridiculously easy to generate coins this year. Easier than ever before. Due to the fact that EA are dropping so many SBCs, it's keeping the prices of players generally quite high for players that would normally be extremely cheap. The amount of marquee matchups and UCL upgrades and stuff like that we've got is just flooding coins onto the market. The fact that people could take weekly rewards from rivals and weekly rewards from champs, and then red informs coming every week. Like before, you would get red informs every month. So you'd have to wait a whole month to hope that you got some of those good players. Now you get to pick players that fit your team, fit your club. You get to pick players that are high rated for SBCs from those red informs. And what this does is it funnels people into just going for Mbappe and Ronaldo and Neymar and Pogba and Kante and whoever, Varane, Courtois and Ramos. It funnels people into these teams, and it actually becomes ridiculously easy over what we've had so far, about a 10, 11 week period. It becomes ridiculously easy to get a near complete meta squad, specifically with the amount of SBCs that have been available, which means now, myself included and you guys included, for a lot of you guys specifically, what you're doing now is you're waiting. You're just waiting for an icon SBC to come out that can improve your squad, or an SBC to come out that can improve your squad. And that means that the core market price, the core market value is just going up and up and up. And so what EA need to do is release something that is going to bring the market back down. And what I think that is an exceptional player. For example, Dani Alves, good nation, okay league, because of Mbappe, good league, to be fair. But yeah, good nation, good league, great cards, and 250,000 coins will kind of allow people to dump a few more cards in for that, a few more 86, 87 rated cards. What we need to bring the icons down is an icon SBC that will bring the icons down, or we need an icon set that doesn't require an icon SBC. But again, the problem with that is that we have the fear of sending the game into the World Cup mode. In the World Cup mode, obviously, we got icon SBCs, repeatable icon SBCs, and it just became icon mode. And so I'm genuinely worried and concerned that the market is just going to continue to increase. I saw a thread on Reddit today talking about Virgil van Dijk and how 2 weeks ago he was at 110. 1 week ago he was at 160, and now he's near 200k. And on PlayStation he's at 175. And if we actually look, November 19th he was 117. November 24th he was 160. November 30th he went up as high as 190. So even for gold standard players that are only 85 rated, like Van Dijk, the market is still so high because people are buying him and not anyone else, because he is the meta. So when you look at the centre-backs that are the meta, Van Dijk, Varane, Ramos, icons, I don't even know if there is another meta. I don't even think players like Manolas or Koulibaly or Benati or anything are quite there this year. Van Dijk is just going to continue to rise, because when you get your rewards this Thursday, if you're using Eric Bailly or Davinson Sanchez, you're going to put your rewards towards getting Virgil van Dijk, which means there's not enough supply of these top-end cards, but there's so much demand, it's just going to continue to increase the market. How can EA remedy this? They can release more SBCs of usable cards, but most importantly, I think personally, they need to change the chemistry system, as we talked about in yesterday's video, for SBC cards. Curtis Davies is in the championship for Derby. He has an SBC card, and it's a good card. He's got great reactions, great composure, really well-rounded dribbling, very good strength, decent enough pace. You could put a shadow or an anchor card on him. An anchor gets him up to a 90 centre-back. The problem is, to use him, you have to link him with icons or English players. There's not enough good English players in this game to link Davies. And if you've already got icons, you don't need Davies. So how do we make Davies usable? Give him links to everyone. Not only does that make this card usable, it means that Van Dijk isn't everybody's go-to, which means people will sell Van Dijk more, reducing his price dramatically. So I think as a way to stabilize the market and to make the market just considerably more fair, I think giving yeah, SBC cards. I know we're back on this. This is more about market talk, but I think giving SBC cards icon chemistry links will just change the face of the market a lot, to the point where someone like Van Dijk is not 200,000 coins, because that is absolutely absurd. It is just outrageous how expensive he is compared to other centre-backs that are of a similar place to him. You know, we talked yesterday about Pepe. Pepe's Screamer card is 20,000 coins right now. If you put a shadow on Pepe's Screamer card, he goes to a 92 rated centre-back with almost perfect defending, good pace, okay reactions, good strength. This is a super usable card. But no one wants to use him because he's from the Turkish league and he's Portuguese. So I personally think it would do great things for the market. Are EA going to do it? Probably not. I don't think we'll ever see a dramatic chemistry change like that anytime soon. But in terms of chemistry, it's outdated and it doesn't work. And it is the cause of people funneling every coin and everything they earn into a specific pool of about 30 to 40 players, which causes the price of these 30 to 40 players to continually increase and increase and increase. And because the other cards, no matter how good they seem to be, aren't quite as good as these cards, nobody cares about them. You know, if we take a look at obviously we have Boateng. We've now got Dani Alves. If we take a look at some of the League SBCs, in fact, and some of these things were in the comment section, going to the SPFL Tierney, as I know he's pronounced now. Tierney's card is great. That was never in question when we were debating him and Robertson. But you can't use him because you have to link him with icons. And if you're having to link him with icons, you've probably already got Robertson, so you're never going to complete him. So, I don't know. I think the market is in a really bad way right now. I think players are extremely expensive if they're usable, and EA aren't doing good enough to make more usable cards, to open up the pool of meta players, to make A, squad building considerably more fun, and B, players that are good more accessible to everyone. You know, what I don't want to see is what we see here every week is the same team every game. Let's have a look at the next team we come up against as we get our 23rd win and Elite 3 secured. The next team we come up against has got Kante, Pogba, Sané, Ferdinand, Varane, Courtois, Lala, Sandro. That is 8 of the meta players. Mahrez, considerably meta as well. Dybala and Aguero are probably the only 2 that you don't see extremely often out of that team. So just any old team, 9 out of his 11 are players that you see all the time. And it's quite boring, isn't it? I had a few other comments. What I want to do for tomorrow's episode is, because we're running out of time, it's a bit of a shorter episode today. I've got a comment from Paul Cook. It's a great comment. I'm going to favourite it because I'm going to dedicate this whole kind of comment to tomorrow, where we're doing a bit of bronze pack method and where I'm showing you some new methods of making coins via bronze packs. Yeah, so that's going to be tomorrow's discussion. But we've got Luke Alloway says, what's up, Nep? So Footmas is coming soon, but what are you actually expecting for it? I'm guessing SBCs for players, but maybe something like a daily calendar with free packs that open once you complete a challenge, a team of special Christmas themed cards. Have you got any ideas of stuff they could do differently this year? Anyway, keep up the content, bro. We've been loving it recently. Well, thank you for the kind words, dude. I appreciate it a lot. What I would love to see this year, I don't know what's coming. We can only guess. With the introduction of the player pick packs this year, I would love to see the daily SBCs be repeatable, maybe not repeatable. What I'd love to see is people having to make a choice of something they want, so that not everybody has the same thing. So what I would love to see with the Futmas SBCs is having still 3 player picks per day, like they did last year. But instead of 3 individual players, 3 sets of 5. So you can have a low tier, a mid tier, and a high tier of player. So the low tier, you might get 5 82 to 84 rated players in the Futmas pick. And all you get to do is pick one of them, and it's non-repeatable. So you can pick someone that might fit your team or just go into your club nicely. And it's non-repeatable. And then the mid tier, you can have, say, 85 to 87 rated cards. And then the upper tier, 88 plus rated cards. And so that way, when you're presented with a choice, when we come into the weekend league, you know, first week of January, and you see some Futmas cards, you're not going to see everybody with the exact same Futmas card every single time. You're going to be like, whoa, this guy picked this Futmas card, but this guy picked this Futmas card. And then if you do that throughout like the course of 13 days or so, like they did in previous years, it could really open up, again, the opportunities for squad building and fun teams. And you would have to make a choice. Okay, do I, today we've got 5 88 rated attackers for Futmas player pick. Tomorrow might be defenders, so do I waste my coins and my players and my resources to get these players, or do I wait and hope that a better player comes up? It's definitely tricky. The comment that I wanted to read that we're not going to have enough time for today from Paul Cook is actually about kind of plays in line with the final game and the 2 games that I lost earlier on in yesterday's, or late on in yesterday's episode, and also just plays into something that I want to discuss regarding delay and such. Not that I necessarily still believe that I get problems with delay long term, but we got 25 wins again, guys. We actually had 1 game left here. As I said, I did lose the last game. I was delighted to beat that guy. His team was insane. He went 3-1 up with those absolutely banging goals. I switched into a 4-1-2-1-2 when I went 3-1 down, and it changed the game for me. I managed to get back in and win the game to get 25 wins. This weekend, again, I know I say this a lot, but this weekend, I'm quite gutted I didn't get 28 or 29 wins at least this weekend. I played some great FIFA, and I let myself down in 3 games specifically. I let myself down in where I feel like I was not only the better player, but considerably better. And so I got to work on that. And again, that does come into what Paul Cook's comment is about. So we're going to talk about that a little deeper in tomorrow's video. So this guy is actually going to signal the end of the video for today. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rate, and comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.